Hello, I'm Regdrin, and why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Stone of Triumph.
And we are going to tackle what I believe is the biggest map in the game on Expert. But first I need to make sure that I have the right race, because I've been playing around a little bit.
Just a little bit.
My formation is almost the same, I just put the dreadnoughts on each side.
And there's the one in the center.
Well, yeah, that one was always there. And the rest is just about the same. And once again, as a reminder, I'm going for shield disruption in this battle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with the exception of the cruisers designed to take down frigates, they're all pulse, so... frigates don't have very strong shields anyway.
Uh-huh.
So, tell me about your experience with this battle.
Oh, there was a lot to try out here.
Okay. Go on.
It really isn't that difficult to solve.
Alright, so of course you go minimalist. Now, the percent I used was something like 84%, which is still low enough to get the first undercutting medal.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I went something like 74%, which is not nearly low enough for a high score, but that's still enough to get the best medal for undercutting, which kind of shows what the designers expected from this game.
Well, I think they did expect people would at least try to go much lower, otherwise they wouldn't put up the high scoreboard.
I guess, yeah, that's fair. So, did you go, for your high score, did you go cheap dreadnoughts?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think I was going to do?
I guess the fighters just didn't bother your dreadnoughts at all, huh?
Not really, because I did bring destroyers too.
Oh, well, okay. You see, that's a detail that I was missing.
I always bring anti-fighter destroyers because fighters are actually a little bit of a danger to my strategy simply because of lucky shots.
Yeah. Just like in Gratuitous Space Battles 1. Too bad they can't fly below the shield bubbles.
Well, I don't use shields.
Oh, well, okay, that too.
Yeah, even though they don't do that much with lucky shots, they still use up repair resources that I want to use to fix up damage done by the lucky shots of larger enemy ships.
Speaking of anti-fighter destroyers, I noticed that when I'm using friendly fighters, it's probably not a good idea to use a huge amount of flak, so I switched them to anti-fighter missiles.
Oh, okay. And how's that working out for you?
It's working out okay. Since most of my cruisers have at least one tractor beam, the enemy fighters don't bother me too much.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, they're using a whole lot of what looks like multi-warhead missiles.
Yep.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what they're aiming at.
They're just gonna shoot at any old thing.
Yeah. My frontliners their shields are probably not gonna hold up.
Mm-hmm.
And I am kind of grateful that my shield booster destroyers are lasting as long as they are, because they're definitely pumping out the health right now.
Hey, something's taking radiation damage.
Yeah. This is actually looking kind of scary.
You'll be fine. I believe in you.
That's what you say every time I talk about a battle.
Well, I believe in you.
Okay, well... I probably should have brought in more missile screens or placed them differently. Because I'm definitely starting to take some hull there. Well...
Starting, I saw something explode.
Yeah, those two cruisers in the middle especially are in bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
So, right now well, there is some debris, but they really brought in a whole bunch of dreadnoughts for this battle.
Oh yeah, there are like at least 6 here.
I think there's even more. But
Hence the at least.
Yes.
Enemy system scrambled.
And, yeah, my frontliners on the right side are getting torn up too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm really not sure that this strategy works. Well, combined arms usually doesn't, but still.
Mm-hmm.
An enemy cruiser has
I'm trying to think about what I should have done better. Maybe shield disruption wasn't the best strategy for expert, because I don't see too many support destroyers here. And the extra hull damage from torpedoes might have helped make this battle a bit less scary. I mean, I prefer my brawls to be more one-sided than this. And hey, what are you... Oh, it's standing still again.
Uh-huh. Well, too bad.
Yeah, I'm wondering... I'm gonna check after this to see if my distance set is somehow not working for my shield disruptor missiles.
Mm-hmm.
But that would explain at least part of why I'm having so much trouble killing things right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the range on those things are, because I hate...
You never use
Yeah.
them.
enemy system scrambled.
Okay, I'm just sort of checking what's living and what isn't.
Has been
Mm-hmm.
obliterated.
My fighters are pretty much all gone, and I don't even know what killed them.
Enemy system scrambled.
I'm just gonna assume shooting killed them.
That is possible, yes. But I'm finally starting to clean up, and that's starting to cascade as the destruction shockwaves weaken the rest of them,
Mm-hmm.
Enemy system scrambled.
and they stop shooting back quite as much.
Mm.
An enemy dreadnought has
Ooh, there's a dreadnought. It only decreased their forces by like 3% too.
Well, yeah, this is the huge map.
Is there some map or anomaly that you really enjoy?
an enemy cruiser.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, the good news is that my dreadnoughts seem to be doing just fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of the reasons you like to go with no cruiser setups, huh?
Yep.
Whew. Okay.
So, you made it after all.
Yeah, I guess it just took a while for my backline shield disruptors to close in properly.
Mm-hmm.
An enemy cruiser has been obliterated.
Last time, when I was doing this as sort of a trial run, a lot of them started withdrawing to the bottom right corner, so it wasn't nearly as close as it was this time around.
An enemy
Mhm.
cruiser has been obliterated.
But hey. There we go. Now let's move on to the next battle, which I think you'll like.
Ooh.
Yes. This battle is on a map that I think is the most fighter-friendly map in the game.
What does it do to make it fighter-friendly?
Tractor beams are not allowed.
Well, that doesn't impact my strategy at all.
Yes, but... I mean... Oh yes, I was going to check on my previous thing. And I did that off camera. It turns out that the missiles both had the same range, so technically I was at optimum range for both. But I think the problem was that the optimum range you set doesn't take into account the length of the ship, so you need to actually set it a bit shorter than that.
Yep.
Now, since this map is so fighter-friendly, I just had to go with U-Tan.
Oh boy.
And I decided to try a different sort of anti-fighter ship. Remember how I mentioned that the radiation guns seemed okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna try those here, and I hope they work because on hard mode and up, they field lots of fighters too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not worried that their fighters outnumber mine because I'm U-10 and they're not, so I should be able to win out in a dogfighting match. I also have 2 decoy cruisers, which I'm convinced is a sort of thing that only the U-10 would deploy. And I was sort of thinking about their backstory. It seems kind of one note, but I find myself wondering about how their society works. Because when you deploy ships for them, it's the same as anything else. I wonder if they have a very small percentage of serious people who do all this work in the background and probably live rather unhappy lives.
You know, like Klingon scientists.
Yes, like that. Or maybe they just actually do make their best decisions while drunk. They are aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done thinking about that sort of thing? Not really?
Not really. I haven't been drunk that often.
Well, I meant about the particular flavor of this race, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, one thing I really like about this battle is it's really refreshing to be able to sort of field fighters without worrying about them getting shot down pretty much immediately because they happen to have tractors on their cruisers or something. Also, these ships right here, those are really slow.
Whoops.
Really, really slow. So you're gonna see the radiation shots really rack up on them soon.
Too slow.
Too slow, indeed. Actually, I'm not even sure there's gonna be time for that because my fighters are starting to hit them pretty fast too. Well, whatever. So now we're getting to, I guess you could call it the meat of the battle because their big ships are finally closing in.
Yep.
And after this, I kind of wonder if maybe I didn't need to have all of them escorting my ships. Like, it might not have been too terribly risky to send some of them sort of flying among at least their destroyers, trying to ruin their day. Also, I noticed that lightning guns seem to have terrible accuracy. Last battle I saw them miss dreadnoughts every now and then.
Oh, yeah. You can check that kind of thing easily in their tracking speed.
Yeah. Although, I really do miss the detailed statistics after battles in Gratuitous Space Battles 1.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, maybe that'll happen in a patch or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, what exploded?
Oh, that was one of my cruisers. Actually, the top half of this battle is not going so great for me.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to have a lot of them is sort of bunched up there.
Right.
Like, see that the decoy cruiser up top is starting to. Ooh, they actually have a lot of heavy beam lasers here, so my armor strategy is not working quite as well as it usually does.
You have an armor strategy?
Well, for the decoy cruisers anyway, I tend to pile it up on them. Ooh, dang,
Yeah.
and more stuff is exploding below that too.
Yeah, the Kraugers have one of the most broken weapons in the game, the Sledgehammer Pulse Laser.
Yeah, well, I'm not really sure how many sledgehammer pulses are used on their side here, but they definitely use pulverizer beams. And that's kind of a problem. Dang. I mean, I'm sort of fighting back. My dreadnought seems to be doing okay, but...
I believe in you.
Yeah, so... Also, you probably noticed I'm using plasma frigates again.
Yep.
Also, deactivating that window when you select a fighter is a bit of a pain.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah. I find the plasma frigates to be sort of tougher to use because despite plasma being artillery, their range is not as good as, say, sniper beams. I really like the explosion animations in this game, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, the big efforts for this game was making it prettier than Gratuitous Space Battles 1.
And, looks like some of my ships below have started to clean up under... No, wait, no, this is still the lower part of the battle,
Mm-hmm.
which is the opposite of what was happening last time. Also, I'm noticing an effect of putting radiation guns on my anti-fighter stuff,
Uh-huh.
which is... During the start, the radiation ships sort of stay back and clean up the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And once that's done, the main battle has started and I've started taking down enemy shields, at which point my frigates start moving forward and hitting with their radiation. And I believe we've discussed just how punishing those rapid radiation pulsars are.
Yep.
So I think I might try sticking with that just to see if it works on other environments.
Assuming you win this battle, of course.
Of course.
But since you recorded it, I believe in you.
Yeah, well, it's true. It's not exactly a mystery as to whether I win or not, because I mean, well, I like the idea of occasionally posting losses, but it tends to run up the video time a bit, and these battles are not particularly fast.
Looks like your Dreadnought is the only ship still fighting up there.
Well, there's a couple more, but...
The only ship worth mentioning.
Yeah. And I'm really kinda lucking out that I still have a torpedo ship in the back, because otherwise I might not be able to damage their ships at all. But the lower part is completely cleaned up, so the bulk of my fleet is going to be turned up to the higher part of the map. In fact, some of them are already shooting upwards.
Mm-hmm. That's what missiles will do for you.
Mm-hmm. Whew. I did not expect the enemy to bunch up like that. I thought my formation was fairly even. Maybe theirs isn't.
Yep. Well, we can take a look at that some other time.
Yeah. And since their formation is visible, maybe I should have seen this coming.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out that at least my Dreadnought really roughed them up, because it doesn't take much before they start exploding.
Mm-hmm.
Enemy dreadnought has been obliterated.
Like that.
I think your Dreadnought may have just won this on its own.
Not completely on its own, but kind of close, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Dreadnoughts are overpowered in this game?
Well, I like the way Dreadnoughts are, so they're not.
Okay, well... So what is
My opinions are not objective at all.
Okay, well... What is it you like about Dreadnoughts in this game?
That they exist.
Well, okay.
Enemy system scrambled.
Thinking about the last battle, by the way...
Mm-hmm.
An enemy cruiser.
Oh, well, we'll go over that later.
Mm-hmm.
I also like this win quote.
Yep.
Well, thanks for sticking around, and we'll go to the expert mode of this map next time, so we'll see you then.
Yep. Bye.